So, all right. So we're going to go over 2 vocabulary words, and then we're going to do like a little kind of competition. A little outside of my box, because I'm not much of a competition person. For not the reasons you think. I actually am super competitive, and I get really angry when people don't follow the rules. So please follow the rules. Okay? Please, please, please follow the rules.
We got it right there.
Yes, but let's start with the words first. And you guys, in your notebook, you can just follow right along with me. So if you didn't write it yet, you're just getting your notebook out, it's not a big deal. Just follow right along with me. So today is the 15th. Our prompt today is addressing the 3rd goal for this week, which is I will be able to read for implicit and explicit information.
Did you just take my pencil?
Alright? So, anybody want to take a stab at what one of our new words means? Yeah. Martin. One. We gotta give somebody else a chance.
Explicit is obvious.
Okay.
Like it's right there in front of you.
Can you explain just a little bit further in terms of a book?
Like it's stuff that like the author gives more detail to. It's like Melinda's like she's never like smiling, she's always down.
Okay, now you did 2 things. Martin actually gave an explicit and implicit example. She's always smiling, but she's down. Which part is explicit? Always smiling, I heard it. We see that. The author writes that, right? The author says she's working on her smile. So the author is being very obvious. It's giving details to point to a behavior or characteristic. Sorry, this is kind of running into our other stuff on the board here. Okay? So obvious, gives detail, points to a behavior or a characteristic. James, you write it down?
Yeah.
There we go. Alex, did we write it down?
Yes.
Everything I just wrote on the board? All right, there we go. All right. Yes.
It's kind of like some like music or CDs, or it says explicit, like stuff like that.
Okay, I'm really glad that you said that, because that's what a lot of people think. When it says that there is explicit content, what kind of explicit content is that talking about? Angela?
Words that aren't appropriate for school and content that you wouldn't really talk about to other people.
Yes. Thank you for not taking that as an opportunity to actually say any of those words, but rather describe that. Because that's usually what somebody does, is like take an opportunity while she asks. Okay. Yes, that kind of explicit, Aisha, is language or visuals that we don't talk about here. So we're talking about author's craft, author's intent when they use explicit information, which means it's right there and there's no guess. Now let's use the other part of Martin's example. She's always smiling, but she's down. That's implicit. What word does that sound like? What word is it, Jacob?
Implicated.
Okay, implicated, what else?
Raise your hand.
Inside. Imply.
Imply, to infer. What does all of that mean, Angela?
To assume or guess something based on what the text says.
Awesome. To assume or guess based on what the text says. And I couldn't have said it better. Thank you. So we're making a guess. We're assuming. So she's smiling. We would assume she's happy. Yet all the implicit language the author is using implies otherwise. That smile is really what?
A mask.
A mask, or it's fake. We keep calling her kind of my first hour keeps calling her a faker.
She's like, her happiness, her happy person is like Bruce Wayne, and her like sad, mopey person is like Batman.
Okay. Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Now we are picking up little different details along the way that are both explicit in nature and implicit. What we really need to pay attention to with this novel is the implicit information. So the character is doing, we all see her doing this, she's hanging out with Heather. But the implication or the inference of her hanging out with Heather is what?
So she don't be lonely.
So she doesn't have to be lonely, right? So she doesn't feel lonely anymore. Marcellus, you with us? Okay. So here's our little game. So everybody got their cups out on their desk?
Yes.
All right. Joshua and Aaron, you'll just join a desk for our activity right now because I don't have another set of cups. Okay, where's your cups? You have your cups out? Okay, I couldn't see them. All right. So everybody take your cups and turn it to yellow. Turn it to yellow. Have your cups at yellow. And have them, you need to have them all stacked together though, Alex. All stacked together. And put them in the center of the table. Put them in the center of the table so it's all fair, remember? Gotta have rules that are fair here. Fair, fair, fair. So you can probably guess what we're about to do. We're gonna play a game.
Is it red light, green light?
It is not red light, green light, although that's a really fun game. I like that game. I like that game because my kids know how to play that game, and so we can play it together. Alright, here we go. Implicit, explicit. Those of you who have been doing annotations, this is where you can really shine, by the way. Alright? I am going to start the timer. Everybody's cups are at yellow, which means you're in progress. As a group, you are going to find one implicit example, one explicit example in the text. As soon as the whole group has it, which means you all need to be on the same page, you're going to turn your cup to green. First table with green is going to get a treat from me tomorrow. Okay? So here, that's what you need. Is everybody? I want somebody to repeat. Somebody repeat the rules back to me.
We're gonna find some words with implicit and explicit.
Are we finding the word though, Alex, or what are we finding?
That's it.
Okay, give him an example. We're going to find an example of implicit, an example of explicit as a table group. Okay? As a table group. And then as soon as you guys have it, you're going to turn your cup to green. And whoever has green first gets a treat from me tomorrow. Alright? I'm going to make it a good one.
Cookies.
Listen, I have a chef as a husband. I can make it as good as I want. But don't be complaining either. But that, I'm not going to poison it. Jeez, what kind of person do you think I am? All right, ready? Everybody should be working. Okay, everybody should be working. Ready?
Wait, so we need one of each?
One of each.
Okie dokie.
Set. Go. Well, that doesn't count. Because you have to do it as a group. I just said it. You have to do it as a group.
We just talked about it and
You love me.
Alright, 34 is Melinda's always being bad.
As a group, Martin. You have to function as a group. You can't just tell them what it is. You need to let them function.
But the coach tells the players what it is. So
You're not the coach, I am. And I'm telling you to function as a team. Who wears the pants, Martin?
I have hands off, you don't.
Figurative piece of speech. And I am the coach, my friend.
Alright.
Help your team.
I'm the quarterback.
Help
then.
your team. Then help them.
Alright. 34.
Okay, so which one is that one? Okay, so now go to now. Okay, so Logan just helped you find the first one. Get the second one. Write the page number down, though, Logan.
23.
Okay. Sorry, did you help then?
The first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
Alright.
Make sure you get the page numbers. Did you take Martin's examples and just talk about them, or you actually found some?
No,
We actually found it.
New ones?
Yeah, we discussed it.
New ones. Because they shouldn't be the ones that you did on your own. I don't want to tell you how to explain it. Because you need to work as a team. Lit circles are a team, Martin.
I just said the page numbers they found it, so I didn't say anything else.
Yeah, and we should you need to work as a team. You're losing time arguing with me. You're losing time arguing with me. Don't argue with me, just find new ones. And as a team. Martin is going to sit out because he's frustrated. Take a time out.
Okay.
I think we found our system
Okay?
on explicit gender. It's like giving details.
Cause he,
We know she finds
But
gender.
that's going to end still. Chair should be okay.
It's what she's saying because she obviously feels humiliated.
Okay, the humiliated part.
Yeah.
Okay, do you, as a table group, do you agree?
Yes.
You agree? Well, then you better switch it up. All right, we have a group done.
We've been done.
Well, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah, we
You guys aren't loud enough. Come on now.
You were too busy messing with Martin.
I'm not messing with Martin. I'm not messing with Martin. All right,
Arguing. Is that better?
arguing. Maybe. Disagreeing. All right.
For explicit, we has she found a closet to avoid her school problems.
Okay. All right. Did you imply that she found the closet to avoid her problems? Or in the text, does it say explicitly she found the closet to hide from her problems?
Well, she was hiding from one of her teachers when she found it.
But, do you see what I'm saying? Does the group see what I'm saying here? If we imply that the closet is to hide from her problems, it's an implicit piece of detail, not an explicit one.
Oh, so I need to flip that.
Do you know what I mean? Because we inferred that the closet was to hide from her problems, unless she literally comes out and says
She does.
the closet. Where?
On this.
If you can find it,
We need to flip it.
Okay, because you. Okay.
For our other one, she doesn't like being around people because people don't like her, so it's when she called the cops at that party.
And that's your explicit?
Yeah, that'd be our explicit since we have.
The explicit would be that she called the cops.
Yeah, so we just had to flip it. Because we had the implicit and explicit mixed.
I see.
We just had to flip the.
Okay. You got page numbers for both?
Yep, 26%.
Okay. Let's confirm over here. Okay. Logan. Okay. Okay. So Heather is explicitly calling her down. That is her way of looking at Heather, right? Or Heather looking at Melinda.
Yes.
Heather is calling Melinda a downer. Well,
Yes.
honey,
Yes.
that's what you just picked out.
Yes.
All right.
Ice
All right.
cream and bananas.
Ice cream and bananas. That sounds good. All right. What's the next one?
18.
So on number 18, it says that gym should be legal. It's humiliating, which means that she obviously had some past experience in gym, which may have made her uncomfortable with it. So
And this is the implicit.
yes.
Okay, yes. Yes, we can infer, right, that from a past experience, she's completely humiliated by Jim.
Yes.
Well done. Confirmed. All right. Confirmed. Confirmed. Tell me.
So on page 34,
You didn't wait page
down there.
34.
and Heather's yelling at her, and then
Okay. For what?
because it's always being a downer. I don't know. We're gonna use.
She's in the closet.
Yeah, no, that's a bad one.
For what? For implicit?
Explicit is Melinda's always a downer.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then implicit is
So we're still just using Martin's example?
yes. That you can have a game plan before you go into a game. Melinda's stomach, or she says, my stomach is killing her, and this room isn't big enough for all the emotions, and I can assume that she has like cramps or she's like bloated or she's maybe pregnant or something.
Okay. Based on all the other details, Martin, would you think that would be true of her, or do you think she's suffering from something else?
That's the personality.
Okay.
One of us had.
We would want to use, what you bring up is a really good point. You're focusing on one implicit detail. However, there are other details that have led up to it that maybe express it. All right, so a lot of side conversation. I'm sad that you guys didn't work as a team, though.
You can
We
have
tried
a game
to.
plan
But-
before
but-
you go into a game.
You're absolutely right. But you didn't try to bring them on board.
How am I supposed to know?
Because they're part of your team. You need to bring them on
To go
board.
look at the data.
All right, you guys have it. Let's confirm. Confirm or deny?
So for
He said,
Because I really
page
wanted to,
25.
because I do stay a lot of
She
good
said-
stuff.
Okay.
and
Yep.
page 19.
So smell it. It smells like bananas and milkshakes.
Have a special place in our hearts for and she says it with contempt. She asked for
Okay, so you picked up on the language that the character is using to imply that she doesn't really feel the way that she says she's feeling. Well done. Good example. Woo. All right, good job. All right, here we go. What?
I feel like to
I got them already.
I feel
All
like
right.
to decide the winners, we should have an epic death battle.
All right.
what?
Listen, what I like about what I saw just now
No.
is that a lot of you worked as a team. Now, there's a reason why we did this. It's not just to find this, although you guys are going to be responsible for finding this information on your own. But there's a on your own. But there is a reason. You guys are functioning as lit circles today. Today is a discussion day. Okay? You're going to discuss the last section, and then you're going to get a new group. What happens if we can't have really fluid conversation when we get into our discussion? Chandler? Yeah. And then do I understand all the other roles that are going on in my lit circles?
Probably not.
Probably not. I know my job.
I didn't know everyone
And
else's.
I you know what? Hey, I got an A. I know my job. But the whole idea of lit circles is that you function as a team. And that every person brings something new, right? The discussion leader brings questioning skills. The bridge builder brings connection skills. The reporter makes sure we remember all the main ideas. The artist gives us something to envision. And the diction detective tells us about the author. All of these are really important to understanding a story. Without them, what do we end up with? Whose interpretation?
The author's.
One person. You. If you're the artist, you end up with your interpretation as an image and nothing else. Although that can be valid, it can't be the only thing you use to understand a story. All right, great job. I think everybody deserves treats, I'll be honest. All right. All right, let's
I'll get
move
cookies.
our attention to the think aloud that we did yesterday.
We're the only ones who deserve them.
All right, get the think aloud out. Josh, what do you have to think about? What? It's over here. Up right here?
Everyone
That's Aaron's stuff.
No.
Okay. All right. Marcellus and Martin. This way. Don't be angry. Let it go. All right. Here we go. Are we ready? Okay, so here's the thing that we need to focus on today. I asked you to do 4 different things. As I walked around the room, I kind of saw that maybe some of us didn't have it quite done yet. Which is okay. I know that I kind of gave it to you at the last minute. But let's just go over a few of the rules, or directions rather, is probably a better word. Somebody explain to me what the first box is. Martin.
It's your interpretation of your role.
Very good. Your interpretation of the role you're doing. Remember, it's about the job, not the book. Say it with me. It's about the... One more time. It's about the job.
Not the book.
There we go. I like Joshua's voice there. All right. So it's an image to help us understand what the job is asking us. We use the idea of diction detective, that we could use a magnifying glass or a dictionary to tell somebody that that's what their job is. Okay, question. What's that one about? Because I know there was some confusion yesterday. Marcellus, what do you think question is about? Okay, so a question that you might have about your job. What if I didn't have any questions about my job?
Well, then you
You're not doing your job right.
Luciano? What would I put there then if I didn't have any questions about my job?
then you ask questions about other jobs.
Yes, you could ask a question about another job. Bruce?
I put a rhetorical question. I already knew the answer. That's not
But it could be something. It could be something that I could consider. Okay, so a rhetorical question is maybe we know the answer, but it is still an important question to ask. Jacob?
You could do a little bit like a comment, and you could add some. You can ask a question that some people might ask about your job.
Very good. So you could think ahead. What would somebody maybe ask about my job, and then ask that. Right? I know it, but somebody else coming into my job may not. Comment. Comment. James. What do we do in the comment box?
You ask like a question, like how about your role?
Okay. Okay, so what is one thing you want to know about your role? I guess maybe the way I worded that, it could end up becoming a question. Alex?
Telling like the next group how to do it, like what to do.
Yeah, I could make a comment to the next group that's coming to my role. Hey, guess what? I kind of faltered on this, and maybe you don't. Maybe you want to look at this first. For the bridge builder in particular, it's always good to read the whole section before you do the job. That's probably a really good comment to put there. And then finally, next step. What's the last thing? Brendan. What are we doing next steps?
What would help you understand the role better? So
Yeah.
understanding it.
Okay, so it could be a question, it could be a comment, it could be a lot of things, right? It could be something that you want to know in order to understand your role better. All right, by a show of hands, who's done? Good, that's pretty good. That's about 90% of you. That's excellent. All right, here's what we're going to do. 2 minutes on the clock. Finish. And then, in order to create your groups for discussion, you need to take your sheet with you. Okay? So remember, I numbered you off last time. 1's over here, 2's over here. I'm going to let you be a little more organic this time. I'm going to let you choose your group. Don't make me regret it. All right? But I'm going to let you choose your group. Remember, what do you need to have in your group?
One of each.
One of each. Thank you, Andre. You need to have one of each. Now, I know some of our numbers are a little off. So if you have more than one, it's okay. But to have a role missing cannot function. Okay? Aisha, what do you need to make sure that you don't have? You got to listen, right? Luciano.
Not have a role missing.
You cannot have a role missing. Okay, you can't have a role missing when you get in the group. You need to have every group represented. And then you're going to get a reflection sheet today that you'll do as a group when your discussion is done. Any questions about moving forward? You need to take your sheet with you, these boxes. That's how you're going to create your new groups and your new partnerships. Find a space to do your discussion. And then when you're done with discussion, if there's time left, you can pick up and start reading silently. All right, go to it.